The next task we are going to do is to demonstrate how to receive customer payments in QuickBooks. So let's see what we have. If we go into QuickBooks, into our home page. On our home page, let's just go into the chart of accounts and let's have a look at what the top two accounts are showing. The bank is showing an overdraft and our debtors, our accounts receivable, is showing a figure of 24,800 owing. What we're going to do is receive money. We're going to reduce the debtors and we're going to put that money into the bank, increasing money in the bank, in this case effectively reducing the overdraft. So we'll do this in the section where we have already created the invoices, we've billed the customer, and now at a later stage we are receiving the payment. Let's go to the exercise. The exercise tells us during the month of January, on different dates, we received checks or payments in from our customers. This is how we're going to record them. For example, taking into account that the 7th of January obviously was the first day in the month to have an activity, and in this case we received an amount and we lodged it straight into the bank using a lodgement reference number of 6003. As that is closed, another day arrives, and this time the 8th of January, and on the 8th of January we received 3 checks in from our customers. These 3 checks will not be lodged separately into the bank account. They will be put into one lodgement slip and it will create one figure here. This is done separately as well as a different transaction in QuickBooks, where if we go home we will have to receive the payment, but then we will also need to gather those 3 payments and record a deposit. Let's demonstrate both. As you will see from the exercise, there is a note at the before this saying that in order to get QuickBooks to facilitate the receiving of payments, we need to turn or edit a certain facility in QuickBooks. I will demonstrate this, but the instruction is on that. If we go to QuickBooks, go to Edit on the menu bar, scroll down and click on Preferences. When we're in Preferences, if we go down to, again it's alphabetically listed, to Sales and Customers, highlight that. Once it's highlighted, go over to the main body of this window that's open, go to Company Preferences, and here, if we go to the bottom of this window, in the Receive Payment section, and uncheck the box that says Use Undeposited Funds. Uncheck this, click OK, click OK, and now we're ready to record receiving customer payments. Click on Home again, maximize the screen, go to Receive Payments. In the Receive Payment window now, we will have a cell where we can put in the name of the customer, the amount it was received, the date it was received, and if it was a lodgement we can put in the actual lodgement number in the memo field, and then we can click on Bank of Ireland to send it directly to the Bank of Ireland. This is what we're going to do in the first instance. On the 8th of January, Aquamarine 2531 banked directly into our bank, which is the Bank of Ireland. Let's demonstrate. Aquamarine. As we click on Aquamarine, the balance comes up. The balance is 2531.32, and the amount of the check we received is the same. Enter that and click on Tab. The date, and again, if you wish, you can put in a payment method. Not necessary. A reference number would be their reference number, but because we are lodging this straight into the bank, we're going to put in our paying in reference here, which will appear in our bank statement, 6003. And lastly, we are going to tell QuickBooks that it is not undeposited, it is going directly into the bank. Once that's done, it auto allocates against the amount that's outstanding, and we can click Save and Close. And that transaction is done. We can go back to Customers, into Aquamarine, and we can see for this financial year we had a payment 2531, an invoice 2531. Go back into our home page, into Chart of Accounts. We can now see that the accounts receivable, double click to bring up the register. We can see that the amount paid is 2531, and that reduces our debtors. If we go to our bank account, our overdraft has been reduced, again by the deposit of 2531. At this stage now, we're going to imagine that it's another day. In this case, back to the exercise, once we have that done on ticket, we move on to the transactions that happened on the 8th. We received 3 checks. As I said, we are going to park these, or we're going to launch these into an area, an account called undeposited funds, and then once we have the 3 checks put into undeposited funds, we're going to take them out of that and then bank them. First one is receiving payments, Harbour Hotel, and the amount received 752.16, and again there is no memo until we actually lodge it, but now we have to change this option. We're not depositing to the bank, we're going to put it into an account, a holding account called undeposited funds. Click Save and New to keep this window open and record a new transaction. Bridge Logistics is the next check that was received on this day, and again for $9.79 it will auto allocate against the 2 outstanding invoices, and again we are going to put it into undeposited funds. Save and New. And lastly, on this day is Lac La Roque and 605, and it's automatically allocating it to the earliest invoice, and the figure is the same at 605. Now what I didn't do in the previous 2 was change the date to the 8th of January, but let's just see how we can overcome that. But we're parking it into undeposited funds. Save and close, and there the 3 transactions done. Let's see where they are. Click into Chart of Accounts. We can see now that the debtors has actually come down again by 2,300 odd euro, but we can see now that we have another current asset called undeposited funds, which is waiting in QuickBooks for an action to take place with it. If I double click on it, you will see that we are recording the 3 customer payments. Back to the home page. In this instance, because we have parked them into undeposited funds, now we go into an option to record this deposit. Click on Record Deposit, and when we do, it will bring up a new window with payments to deposit. Because these were received on the same day, again we can select each of these payments, and as we do, the 3 payments have been selected for deposit, and it says that the amount is 2337.11, which agrees with our practical exercise. Click OK on that, and now it brings us into a new window, and this is where we're going to get the 3 checks, deposit them into the Bank of Ireland. We now can use the actual date of the lodgement, which is the 8th of January, and now we will put in the memo, which is the lodgement reference, our lodgement reference of 6004, and we can click Save and Close, and those daily transactions have been recorded. Now, back in the Chart of Accounts, we will see the bank overdraft has been reduced, the debtors has been reduced, but now undeposited funds is zeroized. Let's see what happened. Double click on the register, and we can see that we posted these 3 checks into undeposited funds, but then we have taken them out. If we look at the bank, we can see that we actually have the figure of 2337 here. Again, it's showing us 1 figure, which is what we wanted to see, but actually it is made up of 3. Lastly, let's look at the next payment. The next one is New Designs, 15th of January, 2,500. There is a discount. This is how it's treated in QuickBooks. Back to the home page. Receive payments. New designs. The total outstanding is 2,522. We are going to record the actual check of 2,500. Again, the date. And are we lodging it straight into the bank? Yes, we are. So we're going to post it to Bank of Ireland, put in a memo reference, and we're going to put this as 6005. Now, when we actually had posted 2,500, a message appeared saying there was an underpayment of 2220. What would we like to do with this? We can leave it as an underpayment, but we are told in the exercise that it is a discount. Write it off, click Save and Close, click Yes, and then it says write off the account to what? Again, if you have discounts already set up, you can post it to that, or you can just create a discounts given. If it's not on the account list, click on Setup, and then post it as an expense, discounts given, and that is created. Click OK. Sorry, just give it a VAT code. We'll say in this case we will go with exempt and click OK. And that figure is done. So now continue to put in these, but beware which are going straight into the bank or which are going to be going in as undeposited funds. And then once you have recorded them, you then need to go into record payments. That is how you receive customer payments in QuickBooks.